Oh, I forgot. Hang on, I forgot the timer. Okay.
Panic. It's too late. We're 28 minutes or seconds in.
Let's just call it.
Yeah, right. It's Titanic.
There's no coming back.
Man behind the curtain.
You're good to go.
Oh, okay, great.
I can't see you.
And a warm welcome to all y'all back at the Rockhound Podcast. If this is the first time, thanks for dropping in. Go ahead and let us know where you're tuning in from and what you're up to. And of course, that's the same for everybody out there. We know we'd like to know, and we sure do care about you. We would like to start off tonight with some sad news of the sudden passing of our beloved sweet Jim. And you were probably introduced to him either by Lapidary Dave or by his channel, or by Lapidary Dave introducing us to him on our podcast, which is how we got to know him initially. I think, is that true for everybody?
Yep.
Yeah. We just got this like splash of Dave all at once, which was lovely. And we, of course, send our condolences out to his family and friends. He's a light that will be missed. And so we have a couple clips actually from the podcast that we had last with him that we thought were great to reminisce with. So first we'll start off with how he got into rock hounding. So how did you get into this crazy rock hounding game?
Well, it started when I was a little kid. Back in them days, your parents would let you out on a bicycle and ride around. So I was on the next block over. I'm about 7 years old, and I'm riding down like I said, up the next block. And I noticed this garage door open. And being a little nosy guy like I am, I rolled right up the guy's driveway and right into his lapidary shop. He had a little sign there, and I remember it to this day. Old rockhounds never die; they just slowly petrify. and he would give me polished rocks, and hence the start of my collection. And so that would have been 52 years ago. I never lost it. My dad took us fishing a lot, and I was outdoors a lot. So I was picking things up, didn't know really what I was picking up, but I saved them, hoarded them, as it were. By the time I hit 7th grade, I rode my bicycle. We'd moved to Chino, rode my bicycle back to Pomona, where this guy's house was. And I said, I'm going to check on my buddy. I called him Partner. I'm going to go check on Partner. And he was in very bad shape on his last leg, basically. And he wanted me to have his equipment. So in 7th grade, I bought my first Highland Park 8-inch lapidary machine.
Wow.
Which I living the dream. So by the time I hit 9th grade, so my grandmother worked at a travel agency near a jewelry supply company. And when I was that age, believe it or not, I was trying to buy silver and just doing anything I could to figure out what I was going to do with this stuff. And the people that owned the store said, hey, we give classes. They were college instructors. And so long story short is my grandmother was a lovely lady. She'd drive me out there every week for a lapidary class. So in 7th grade, I was taking college level lapidary. And I did it for about a year, almost a year. So I probably had, I don't think 50, but probably 25 classes on it. And I was getting proficient. And by the time I hit jewelry class in 9th grade, and my instructor, we started, I think we did the lost wax casting first, and then some silversmithing, and then we got to the lapidary part, and I immediately informed him that he didn't know what he was talking about, and that and he said, well, why don't you show me, Mr. Banker? And I went up there, and from then on I was basically teaching the kids in my class the lapidary portion of it. A few people were interested. We kind of broke up then and went into our different little genres, and so I've been doing this for 50 some years. By the time I was in high school, at the end of high school, I'd traded off my Highland Park for a radio controlled airplane. And so I went off and on different hobbies. But I will say this, some 50 years later, I've got the rock bug. I'm sick. You guys need to call a doctor for me, because it's not going to go away. And I have many other little, throughout the time when I was bouncing back and forth between hobbies. I bought a bunch of, back in the 80s, I bought a bunch of Lightning Ridge, this place called Lightning Ridge Opal. And I was buying bags of, it was probably low to mid grade. I have pounds of it still. I probably have 2 to 3 pounds of Lightning Ridge Opal. And I, of course, went hog wild when I seen my first jar of Mexican Opal. So like I said, asking me about my experience will get your ear bent off, and I think I'll leave it at that. You can imagine I'm blessed with a good job, and basically anything I need I get, and I've worked hard all my life to get to where I'm at, and I just love rocks, and more than anything I love teaching it to people. I give so much stuff away, and I didn't give you that stuff, Theo, because I thought you would learn something from it. I thought you'd appreciate it. But I met a guy, and I'll end it with this. I met a guy yesterday. I had to go down and buy my little headphone here at Best Buy, and we got talking, and this guy's little girl is into rocks, and they taken her to the museum. He was telling me about the little thing where she chips the fossil out, from whatever. And I told her, look, I gave him my phone number, and I said, look, bring your little girl over. There's petrified wood, there's dinosaur bones laying in my front yard, crystals, geodes, anything you could imagine. Come let her go for it. And it's all free. And I just want her to get a taste for it, like I was given a taste for it. And really, my goal in this isn't to get rich selling my lapidary pieces. It's to teach and get more people involved in it. I think the lapidary in general is on an upswing. It's good. And I just hope I can do my little bit to get a few people involved in it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I love
that. And we have what I thought was very poignant. This was I think my favorite answer of all time for any of the guests, his strangest find.
Absolutely. So how did I do on the questions, guys?
We're not done yet. You're doing great.
We're not? Oh,
thank you, sweet Jim. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the strangest thing that you've found while you've been rockhounding?
Oh, that was going to be my next question.
You can do the animal one. Do the animal one.
The strangest thing I've found rockhounding. That's to me, right? That's
That's
me
yours.
to answer.
Yeah. Yep.
Whew. Wow. So so much stuff comes to mind. Again, we don't have time. I think just what I found rockhounding is myself.
Oh, best answer ever.
Absolutely. That wins.
I found myself, and a cat's howling to come in its room. I found myself, and I found my love. My wife is my love of my life, and rocks and figuring it all out is, I think, what I try to do. I ask a lot of questions, and I never stop learning. And like I said, I think what I found was myself more than anything.
Wow.
I love that answer.
That is the best answer. Thank you so much for that. And your love. And yeah, that's so cool. Perfect.
Yep.
And last but not least, this one's kind of eerie, his words of wisdom. And, it feels like what you want to also say about him. So sweet Jim, have you got some words of wisdom? I know you've got so many words of wisdom.
Oh yeah.
Narrows it down.
How long have we got?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier. Find yourself. And if it's rockhounding, great. If it's silversmithing, great. just every week, I do watch you guys, and I hear a lot of the same stuff, and I don't have any particularly cool answers other than the one I gave earlier, and which I'm going to kind of lean back on. But make it fun. Don't the people, geologists that get to work and do what they love, and me with my job, I love my job. Unfortunately, my job isn't rock hounding. It will be soon. But just go for it and find yourself and find what you love, and hopefully you have someone that you love, and things become really, really good, and life is good, and rock hounding makes it better.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, sweet Jim. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
And so, gentlemen, do you have something to say about sweet Jim? Kurt?
I was just wanting to say, like, Jim was an awesome guy. Anytime you would talk to him, he would make you laugh, and just a really great person to be around. And he will truly be missed.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So true. How about you, Theo?
It's that came out of nowhere, man. Like, it's so freaking sad, and I'm heartbroken, man. I was like really looking forward to go actually get to meet Jim in person and hang out. He sent me a box, and I made a video out of working with the stuff, and I just hadn't posted it yet, and that hurts even more knowing that I haven't. Anyway. That stuff that he sent me is now among, like, instantly. I already love that stuff so much, but that is stuff I'm going to cherish forever, because, oh man, like, it's just so sad. Like, I have no words. It's just heartbreaking. Jim, you were an awesome guy, and I'm so sad I didn't get to know you better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he talked a lot about wanting to come up to Montana and visit you and go rock hounding with you. And you were an inspiration to him. And so, like, how wonderful is that, to have that that whole relationship with Jim. Very, very cool. How about you? Thank you, Theo. How about you, Kyle?
It sucks because I was hoping to do a podcast with him back on when I could be there, because I didn't get to be part of the last one with him being on. So it's really unfortunate that I don't get to have the opportunity now to really meet with him. But I was watching Lapidary Dave's live the other night, where he was in Jim's shop, and he was just going over the stuff that he had in there. And I don't think the live is available now, because I think he's going to do a proper, like, shop tour, and just kind of, like, memorialize, like, a lot of how his shop was and what he had in there. But he was telling, like, really heartful stories about just how pure of heart this guy was. Like, he would give the shirt off his back to anyone that really needed it. And yeah, it sucks. And yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah, thank you for that. He did talk about wanting to come back on. Like, he was making through our go check out the last podcast with him. It's really fun. And he was talking about, like, when I come on next time, I'm gonna do a shop tour for you guys, and we'll go over some tutorial. And he was really pumped. And I think that's what was so infectious about him, was his attitude, his totally positive, momentum. And so he just fill you with stoke. You, like, after talking with him on our last podcast, like I said, I just wanted to, like, stay up all night and work on fire agate.
He was a major motivator. Like,
yeah. And an instructor. Like, he was so full of knowledge that he had just, soaked in for his whole life, that he loved to share, and so, like, if you wanted to listen, man, he had stories, and, he was entertaining, but he also was imparting this knowledge that was, like, so beautifully coated with, laughs and fun. So, yeah. he is gonna be sorely missed.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer that he doesn't have very much content up, but go watch that. And
Yeah, go subscribe to his channel. I believe his wife Sandy is still. She's also a lapidary artist. She's also a rock hound. So go subscribe to their channel still. Like,
yeah.
still show your support. And that's basically, his knowledge is out there.
Yeah, keep it out there, it's like keep that around for those folks to come. And so we'd like to give a toast to Sweet Jim. It feels like we were just getting to know you, and you left us with so much still. And so thank you for everything. And cheers, Prost, Kampai, Skol, Steinkern. The people in the chat know what to do. So yeah, shouts, and thank you for making the appearance man behind the curtain. First of all, thanks, Ugly Rocks, for being on, and Ugly, and inspiring us to do a whole show about you. By the way, a few of you actually sent me Ugly Rocks for shows and tells, and live and in person too. So that's super awesome. Show us your uglies. Send them to the email in the description, and we'll include them on our next viewer show and tell if you want. That would be really fun. Or if you want to flip it and you want to do preciousers, like the special stones that we're featuring tonight, you could do that as well. We're filling up though. We're going to be ready to do another viewer show and tell really soon. So send us your stuff. And also, sadly, again, we were saying goodbyes to another beloved community member last week, Jared from Cliffwalker Rockhounding, and he always called those in the chat the Nerd Club, and other folks were remembering him in the comments and reminiscing about his great sense of humor and whatnot. Lisa was in tears. Kyla Abiglen was saddened to hear of his passing, of course, as well as Julie McKenna, Rockhounding with Jasper Blue, and Makes a Million Scala said it was a nice tribute, which we we could have gone on for much longer. Thank you. Greg Dirksen was gonna miss Jared and says wish he'd had the opportunity to meet beyond YouTube, which I think a lot of us were thinking, yeah, like next season I'm gonna head up to his volcano, or yeah. And so I would definitely concur with that. Dustin Finds Rocks was also saddened. He was hanging out though with Wild Kyle, and they were all romping around Haunted Ridge, finding massive crystals. So that would definitely cheer a person up. And they were also off to find trilobites, said Dustin. Johnny Rockhounding said he's also got ugly rocks, and he hopes it's just only skin deep. I think that's a dad joke. Thank you, Johnny, for that. Dustin Finds Rocks said there are no ugly rocks. Currently Rockhounding says ugly rocks are right up his alley. Cindy Norcutt says ugly rocks are special too. Claude from Kalgoorlie says rocks are like a box of chocolates. And CVV Gems said the best Rockhound podcast anywhere is us, especially when we do ugly, of course. Thank you, Don. And had notes for us also. Check those out in the comments, you guys. And thanks again, darling. And thanks to you, darlings, chatting away at this very moment in the chat. We appreciate you and everyone over there on the Discord. All y'all for tuning in. Definitely leave us a comment and we will shout you out next week. And them's the shouts. So how was your week, Kurt?
My week, sorry. You said a name that I recognize. I was just going back to the video to see if the name that you said was correct. So, yeah. Sorry, what are we on now?
Your week. It's a great segue.
Week,
yeah, you're doing things.
My week
this
has
week
been pretty good. We've been getting out on some night walks and doing some urban rock hounding at night, and still was doing some fall hikes, but this last couple days we've gotten some winter advisory weather that came in, cold front, and now the mountain is covered and it is freezing outside. And we were hoping for like another month of fall, because like last year we didn't get snow until like a day before Christmas, and then it just stuck and was the snow up until like spring. And now we already have like snow and it's cold and not wanting to go outside, but I need to get a bunch of rocks cut so I can have stuff to do over the winter and content to make.
Didn't you lose some stuff under the snow last year too?
I did.
Like you better clean everything up and get all the anhydros.
Yeah. Yes. I already pulled those inside.
Okay, good. You got me remembering, like, you know, if we ever have a freeze.
Yeah. But other than that, we've been doing some wire wrapping, and I'll show you a couple of those wraps over in Show and Tell a little bit later.
Goody. Stick around for those. They're very cool.
I think we're planning on going out on a Halloween hunt, rock hunt, which will be. I've never gone rock hounding at night, besides urban rock hounding with the black light, but we're gonna go out in the forest and do some night
spooky.
So yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, it'll be cold though, so I got to make sure to take gloves, sweater, hoodie, and headgear. I don't know what it's called.
Headgear. Earmuffs, hats, whatever.
Just make sure you got your helmet.
And accessories. Yeah, that does sound cold. You know, I hate rock hounding with gloves on. You know, you're like doing this smear into the soil.
I have
so much.
I have a couple weeks ago. We were up at one of the spots to get those carnelian agates, and I'm sitting there videoing. I'm like, okay, I gotta go because I don't want my phone to die because I don't have a flashlight to get back to the car. And right in mid video, the light just shuts off. Screen goes black, and I'm like, oh crap! I gotta get back to the car still. Like wandering through the darkness, through all the brush, not fun.
No.
In the cold,
spooky again.
I couldn't feel my hands. Like I was digging, couldn't feel my hands. I lost my light, and yeah.
And my light was the only thing keeping me warm. Yeah, that's tragic. I do.
Bring extra flashlights with you when you go out at night.
Or just remember a flashlight when you go out, because we did the same thing, but we hadn't planned on being out, after dark. And so we're like lollygagging and giggling and then it's dark and we're like, can't see.
Yes. And make sure if you are out after dark, make sure you have like some form of protection from wild animals. Like we were out the other night. I didn't have my glasses. We didn't have any flashlights. We stayed out later than we were supposed to. Me and Tess, we were like on the road, and we were like, what is that sitting in the middle of the road? It's just a big black blur in the middle of the road, and then it started running towards us.
Oh.
I started freaking out. Tessie ran behind me, and I started freaking out. She was like, "Hurt, calm down. We're okay." I think it was a fox or something, but I couldn't see.
But it's a blur. Yeah, it's not okay.
Yeah.
You're squinting really hard. Yeah.
So, that's my week.
And words of wisdom. Thank you, Kurt. How about you, Theo? I'm sorry, Irving.
I was gonna say I don't even remember what I wrote down. I just kind of kept typing. Anyway.
Not even a week and stuff, dude, bro.
Okay, I was gonna say something along those lines. Busy week, frantically busy week, because I am trying to get something done for the second channel for Halloween, and it's supposed to be a quick, easy project. It has not been quick or easy. It's way more time consuming than I originally thought. And
that's so shocking about you and your projects.
I know, right? Like they're never just fast and simple. I don't know why I do this to myself.
Yeah.
But it'll be
simple
awesome.
and quick doesn't look like anything you do.
No, it usually isn't.
Yeah.
Certainly not on the second channel so far. Nothing over there has been quick or easy. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm almost done with it. Kind of. I'm like 2/3 of the way done with it, I guess I should say. So that's good. Rushing to get that done so I can have it done on that video out either Saturday or Sunday. I was gonna do it on Halloween, but I decided nah, just because nah. Speaking of walking in the dark, though, last Saturday my highlight Opal video with Derek came out. Speaking of walking through the dark, we were out way longer than we thought we were going to be, and neither of us brought headlamps. So the last like 1.5, 2 miles of that hike, it was like pitch black. Luckily, we were walking down a trail, but yeah, it was.
That's good.
It's a little sketchy when you're out in the middle of bear country without a flashlight.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you guys had been kind of on a super long hike, and so you were
so
probably on
exhausted.
ether by that time, and
No, we were
maybe
actually
a little loopy.
Yeah. Oh, probably. Yeah. Like absolutely. Like just exhausted, hallucinating. But no,
Yeah,
the second we
that.
saw the sun like going away and it getting really dark, we were like, we need to hurry up. So we went from like hiking a good pace to like power walking as fast
Trail
as we
running.
could. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we covered 1.5, 2 miles in no
With-
time at all.
You guys are doing like the mall speed walking.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like
The swing
power
those off.
walking.
Right.
Our feet were so mad at us for walking that fast, though. Oh my gosh, that
Didn't
hurt
you
so
like
bad.
sleep the whole next day or something like that?
I did. Derek went to Medicine Wheel because he's crazy.
Because he's Derek.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I get it. If I'm on vacation, I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm like, I need a day to recover, man.
I don't need my feet.
I don't have that vacation adrenaline going on.
Right.
Next week, speaking of Derek, next week's, or actually, no, not next week. So when this comes out, Saturday, tomorrow, when this comes out, will be another hunt with Derek. We went to the river and found some fantastic stuff.
Awesome. Looking forward to
Cool.
that.
Yeah, that was a good day.
Yeah.
Take me to the river.
Speaking of the river, we got out on Tuesday and it was super windy and super cold, but we found really, really good stuff. So it was worth the time going out there. And now this week is supposed to be super nice. So I'm going out again on Monday, probably Monday.
Totally lucky was what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, we got
Yeah.
snow
Lucky
last week. We got snow last week, and yeah, I'm happy we have one more little heat bout coming back because it's supposed to be like mid-60s, which
Ooh.
I
I
appreciate.
wish that would be here.
Yeah, I know it's not
Yeah.
gonna last
It's
long.
high 40s here.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it
Wow.
was all of last week. I think it was like 40 something with the wind chill. You go and look at the weather and it lies. It's like, yeah, it's 50 degrees, but it's also like 25-mile-an-hour winds. So it's probably more like 40.
Yeah, from the
Agreed.
east, our snow cooled already, and
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I
this
hate
was-
that when it's cold and windy because your nose starts to
Hmm.
run from the cold, and it's like,
Yep. Yep. Oh, and then it started raining on us at one point, as if the cold and rain wasn't enough, or the cold and
Yeah.
wind wasn't
Not
enough.
enough
Then it started
insult.
raining on us.
Yeah.
I'd rather
was
be
worth it,
out
though.
in snow than rain and being cold.
I actually prefer rain than over snow, but I think that's just because of Florida. It comes in so much that it's like you just gotta like learn to be okay with being soaked when the rain comes, because it's so random in Florida that you can't plan around it. It's like you go there in April or May, you're gonna get wet, and you gotta just make peace with that. So I think ever since we started going to Florida, I'm like, it's just rain.
It's just
I hate
rain, but
snow.
when it's mixed with freezing cold
Oh, the wind
temperatures,
sucks, man.
wind, that's
Oh,
Yeah, I don't do that very well. I'd take the snow any day over that.
yeah. I just hate snow. I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I don't want to be in Montana during winter anymore. Am I too young to
And
start
I'm reminded
snowboarding?
of where you are. And
Yeah.
the hating snow is.
Oh, I hate snow so much. It's not snow. I like snow. I enjoy snow. It's cold that I despise with a burning passion.
If there could be like a warmer snow, it would be okay. Yeah.
Well, sometimes in the winter, you'll get those random freak days after a big, it's January. So there's like inches of snow on the ground. And then there's just one random day where it's like 45, 50 degrees. And it's like, oh, this is awesome. It's sunny and nice. You go out and enjoy the snow when it's warm out. But
I
then
love
the rest
that.
of yeah, exactly. Then the rest of the time it's like -3. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to go out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. You're crazy.
Yeah. Again, I say, am I too young to start thinking about snowbirding? Probably.
Never too young.
Yeah.
Right on. Do you have some more week? Any more weakness?
More week is just going to be rushing to finish the project for the second channel. Also, I've been taking a bunch of pictures of products to post on my store because I'm running a sale after I'm done with this whole huge project that I've got going on. So it's like the moment I'm done with one thing, then I'm going to be sitting in front of a computer for 3 days straight, posting listings and products and writing descriptions. And it's
Fun.
Yeah.
It's never ending.
Man, that's when I start yearning to clean my closet or something. I'm like, I'm done with that. Anything
It's
is better.
always it's one project straight into another project, straight into another project. And it's been that way for like 9 months now. And I just have accepted that it's not going to calm down ever.
You're ready to have a baby.
Yeah.
The massive culmination
baby.
of all of this. Yeah.
I didn't even realize I was gestating.
Yeah, you and the dogs, right?
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. All right. So if that was your week, fabulous. Thank you. And my week too is nuts. I mean, it's never different than that. I've been editing, reminiscing our sweet death hike that just basically it was short, but it felt like it went straight up, and there were like these scrappledy rock slides that we had to like traverse and go across and stuff. So it felt really crazy. I'm editing that video right now for you guys. And it's got the handful of the little thunder eggs. That's what we were after, but of course bigger. And that's should be dropping sometime this weekend. I've been cutting to see what was inside those little nugs. That's super fun. Better than
Was I right when I guessed what was in them? Was I right?
Like I know one of you wanted to have there be opal in there, and
that was me.
My guess was quartz. One of the many varieties of quartz was exactly what I said.
And you are correct.
You're never wrong. It's always the safe bet.
Yeah.
It's like when you go play roulette and just put money on every single number and every single color.
Mm-hmm. But Kurt wins a spin there too. So you'll have to see.
Major spoilers.
Yeah, you heard it here and nowhere else.
That's why you subscribe to the podcast. You get spoilers.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, these tasty tidbits that you could not go without knowing. And let's see, I got a sweet package in the mail from Jackie. Thank you so much. She heard.
I forgot. Yes, I did too.
Yeah, she told me.
Yeah.
She somehow knew that like we liked fossils. I don't know. And so
and my first Lake Superior agates.
Me too.
Yeah, I was so excited. Yeah, like seriously. I actually wasn't going to talk about it because I was going to do a whole video like working with the stuff. So I was going to talk about that next week. But yeah.
Thanks.
So
Jackie.
excited. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Yeah. And I'm doing a video specifically for the fossils. I'm sure I'll like toss a nod to the agates as well. They're incredible. I hung out on my deck this morning and viewed them in the sunshine, and it was like the best thing with coffee ever. And then of course I just love all of those really weird super duper old fossils that they have back east.
Oh, they're so cool.
Yeah. And so I'm going to cut some. I talked to her about it, and I was like, is it okay if I, and she's like, oh, there's more. So, okay. All right. So that really made my day. And it was sunshiny. We've been having like fog and clouds and rain and cold by my standards, not cold for you guys because your cold is way worse. But it was sunny today. So I even told Kyle that I was going to be cleaning, and I totally blew that off, and I worked outside and yeah. I grabbed one of the sunstones that had some schiller in it that wouldn't make a good faceter, and I decided to do some carving. I was thinking about Sweet Jim, and so I took my diamond burrs and my Nova points and all the things that he would have delighted in using, and went and had some contemplative time out on the deck in the sunshine, as you have to when it's there, right?
Absolutely.
Cleaning can wait. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I did, ending with today, and that's why I have a smile on my face, and why the lights down in the room, so that you can't see that I didn't clean. All right. And so on with the shows and tells of all preciousness. And so Kurt, you want to lead us out with that?
Sure. Do you want me to? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
do it all.
the first one is we'll start with this one right here. This is a chunk of Crystal Cola. The reason why it's special to me is when we were living out in Arizona, Tessie surprised me with like a last minute road trip for my birthday to come to Colorado, which was the first time to the state. We like visited Pagosa Springs and some other areas. We came up through, I think it's called the $1 Million Highway, or is that in Arizona?
I don't know.
I think it's here in Colorado.
I
I'm
think
not
so
100%
too,
sure.
because I think I would remember it if it was in Arizona.
Yeah.
But I can't say.
But
I don't remember lots of
it
things.
goes from like Durango all the way up to Ouray, and you go through Silverton and some of the other old mining towns. And like just south of Silverton, there was an old ghost town, mining town thing off on the left side, and there was a bunch of piles of Crystal Cola. And I was digging through it, and this was the coolest one that I could find. So that's why this one is special. Yeah.
It is indeed.
Yeah, it's
It
gorgeous.
is indeed gorgeous and special.
Yeah, I've never seen Crystal Cola with those like vibrant reds mixed in. So
Me neither.
between like the greens and stuff. So it's really cool. And the next two pieces were from Arizona. This one is a piece of howlite. When I want to say like every month, me and Tess tried getting out to Sedona, which was like a 45-minute drive from where we live, and we tried going out on a hike at least 4 or 5 times a month. And
so jealous.
This one we would always take our dog Pixie with us, and Pixie's a small 4 to 5 pound Pomeranian rat terrier.
Isn't Pixie in the last video? I think.
I don't know.
The Dry Creek one? I think there's.
Oh, maybe.
Okay,
I
keep going.
put it in there.
I think, yeah, you just see a little bit of the head.
Okay, but yeah. Yeah, we took her out. We always take her with us, and she hiked all the way up to the top of one of the mountains that we were hiking, where I found this one. And it's just special because of that moment when we got to the top. Pixie's face was, she was just kind of in the awe, like, because she was looking out on top of the mountain over Sedona, and it was just a really cool experience to see for her. When we found this up at the top, which I don't know if it was placed there because I didn't see any others around, but who knows? It's a special piece regardless.
That's cool.
And then this other piece is a limb cast from Arizona. I'm not sure the particular area, but it's just special because when we were in Arizona, we would always visit every rock shop we could find. And in between like Prescott and to Sedona, there's probably 40, 50 rock shops in that stretch. So we would just hit them all up and just look for something cool and just go there just to browse. So this just reminds me of that experience and time.
Nice. That it looked like it was polished on the end.
Yeah, the owner of the shop over in Clarksdale polish one of the
yeah.
edges, and
Looks pink.
it's kind of like a vibrant pink hue to it, pink violet hue, but there's this a detail in the very tip of it. Turn it to the side, it almost looks like a creepy fingernail kind of coming out of the.
Oh, nice. A spooky rock for
cool.
Halloween.
It's for Halloween.
Very cool. Yeah, I love it.
And then the last piece, this is a piece of, I believe it's like a serpentine jade crystal. I found it when shortly after getting to Vermont. Our brother-in-law and his son, we all went out to the river closest by their house, and there is so much you could find in that river. I would like to go back and hunt with them, but these were very rare to find, and they're like it's almost like a dark green, but it's so dark you can't really see the green features. I tried taking the photo under a bright light so you can see all the green features in it, and if you take a really bright flashlight and shine it underneath it, it kind of lights up like a deep green. Very cool stone, and kind of cool energy behind it. But those are my 4 stones and why they're special to me.
Wow. Do you think that was brought in by a like one of the floods? Like was it an ice flood thing? Do you know?
That where we found that stone, there was also a lot of other. So there's a lot of serpentine in the area, and the river's called Rock River in southern Vermont, and I'm not 100% sure, but I know in that area there is a lot of what's the term, metamorphic, like a area.
Yeah. Yeah, like just as far as us out here, we don't find the serpentinite or the serpentine or the jade hardly anywhere because it's covered with basalt. And then some of the older features of older terrains and that sort of thing, you see a lot more of it. And then it's just interesting, like, was it brought in because you said it was rare, or
it's rare. I don't know if it's rare to Vermont, but it's rare to me because we went on rock hunts like every other weekend, and I've only found maybe like 5 pieces. And we went up and down from like West Dover all the way down to like close to Brattleboro, which is probably like a good 30-mile stretch of the river. And but yeah, so it's rare to me and just extra special because of the memories that it has attached to it. So
nice. Killer green too.
Heck yeah.
I like that green.
Yeah. Love it. All right. Well, thank you. Are those the specials, the specialnesses, the precious?
Yeah, those are the precious stones. And then what I was talking about, what I was doing during the week, I took these pieces of, I already forgot the name.
Sorry.
Granite.
Yes, thank you. I was about to go message and ask her. But it's a kyanite just wrapped in some copper, just to make them look like broomsticks. I saw someone post a picture of them on Facebook, so I was like, oh, I can do that. So I went ahead and made some, and so far I only have 4 made, and I have 2 more to wrap, but I'm gonna list them on Etsy.
Cool.
It's a little late for the Halloween. They won't arrive till after Halloween, but I plan on trying to sell some of them because they're pretty cool to me.
You know where to get them, people. Get your broom. Awesome. Those are very cool. Nice. Thank you for sharing those. All right. And so, Irving, do you have some offerings for the preciousnesses?
I do, actually, but I just realized that one rock that is actually extremely sentimental to me is actually here at the house, and I forgot that I had it here. So I'm going to run and grab that. Also, timeout. Cut this out, Kyle, because this is spoilers. I have to the ones I have here are very special to me. So this is actually the first cabochon I ever made.
Wow, it's giant.
Yeah, it is.
It is really big.
It is.
You
like
outdid yourself on the first
3 inches? 3 inches tall?
That's a bad example because my hands are gigantic, but I have big old spider hands. But yeah, it's probably about 2.5 inches, 3 inches maybe.
I
Inch
can't
and a half
believe
wide.
that you didn't set it and like wear it right here.
Yeah.
I was gonna make it into a pendant, but then I just never got around to doing it. So now it just sits on a shelf and it looks happy. This is actually green aventurine, and all of the black dots are epidote.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah, it's some cool stuff. It comes
What
from
is it?
the Stillwater mine in
What is it?
Montana.
Is the epidote like, is it black or is it just like super dark green?
It's super dark green. If you put a flashlight on
Ah.
it, the whole thing glows like just all
Oh.
sorts of different shades of green. It's
I
really,
dare
really
you to
pretty.
do that for us at some point.
He's like, Holly, pull my
reaches
phone out.
in his pocket.
Get my flashlight.
Oh,
All the greens.
that's great.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's so pretty. I love this stuff.
Oh,
I actually got
okay.
what from that same trip. I got a piece of epidote big enough to facet, and it came out so pretty. Facetable epidote is not a common thing in Montana. This is the thing I actually went in there to grab, though.
I like your diversion.
Yeah, that is this right here, which is actually the section of a baculite.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that probably does not look, especially with all the other baculites I've shown on the podcast before, this probably does not look like much. Well, I found this when I was like, I think 7 or 8. So
oh
this
my
goes
gosh.
way
That must have
freaking back.
yeah.
I thought it was a
Wow.
vertebrae, like my entire childhood,
Yeah.
until I grew up and was like, no, it's a baculite. Little did young Theo know that these were going to be like his specialty when he grew up. So this is the baculite
This
that
is your bread
started
and
it
butter,
all.
son.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I do you remember from last week, I talked about how I have an agate bag here. So I have 2 others that I don't have pictures or videos of, but they're here, so I'll figure I'd show them anyway. These ones are super sentimental, and it'll probably be obvious as to why. And that's my 2 biggest Montana agates I've ever found.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
good reason. This
Big
one's
as your
not.
head.
Yeah, literally, I love this thing so much. This is not getting touched until I find another bigger one. But this one, oh my gosh, this one's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
That is so nice.
It's one of the weirdest Montana agates I've ever seen. It's fantastic.
Put that back up on the camera. I want to take a screenshot.
It is so pretty.
That's cool.
It's so pretty. And it's not polished and it's dry right now. So it's not showing like half the detail, but oh, it's so pretty.
And there's just
Yeah,
not
send us
enough
a picture.
spit for that, right?
Yeah. I could get up and get water, but I've already gotten up like 4 times.
And you're tired. You had a hard day, so.
Yeah.
Right.
It's been a long day. All right. So I'm just opening the chat so I can find what order I sent them in so I can go in that order. Okay. So first, I don't have any of them with me. I forgot to bring any of them home with me. So I have no physical examples other than the ones I just showed. So first off is going to be, this is super special find, and it's probably pretty obvious why, but this is my best calcite whelk from Florida.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
This is like a reason why to not like shells. Right away.
Yeah. Well, lightning whelks are my favorite shell, like period. They're the one that started it all, because the first nice shell, like big shell I ever found was a big lightning whelk. So I have a real soft spot for lightning whelks, but ever since I learned about the calcite clams, I then learned about the fact that you can find calcite whelks, and that was like the top of my bucket list. Moment I figured that out, it was sat there for years as the top of my bucket list. So the fact that I finally like that, Derek was looking at that one in person when he was in town. He's like, man, they don't get much better than this one. I was like, I know. It's easily one of my favorite like rock fossil anything that I own. It's so freaking cool.
Do you have like a display with laser beams around it so that like nobody touches it? No.
I need to do that, frankly, because there's another one. I don't have a picture or a video of it, but there's another one that's just as awesome. But it's a smaller whelk, but there's like 7 whelks all on a string, all connected to each other. I love those things so much. And then these next would be two of my favorite agates that I've ever found. You can find them in Montana, but they're insanely rare, and that is blue Montana agates.
Mhm.
And yeah, and it's not
so
Tyndall.
blue too.
Oh my gosh, they're so blue. It's not. I was gonna say it's
Super
not
blue.
Tyndall. They're like true blue Montana agates, and this first one in the video that is playing right now, Kyle. The first one
I'm
was
listening.
actually okay. Just making sure he's here.
Marker noises in the background.
You just hear frantic typing. The first one actually was one of the first Montana agates I found after I got into rock hunting. Like, was not I thought it was awesome, but I didn't appreciate how rare it was until like 5 more years of rock hounding passed, and I only have a total of 4 of them. They're really, really, really special. And then the second one in the video, that one I found last year on a hunt, but it's insane. The video does not do it justice, and it changes color depending. It's like almost pleochroic because it changes color depending on what light you're in. Like when I'm in the shop, it looks just royal blue, but when you go outside into sunlight with it, it turns royal purple, and it's just so freaking cool because it's a Montana agate.
That sounds like what they found out Ellensburg were like as well. Like they couldn't figure out what mineral it was that was making the Ellensburg purple, or it's blue, but it's blue through purple, kind of like the Calapooya ones that we have here.
Yeah.
And they found out that it was just the way that the light goes through the lattice, kind of like an opal.
Yep.
So I wonder if that's the same way there with the one that you have.
It could be. I think I can't remember. I think I either have 4 or 5. I don't remember off the top of my head, but true blue Montana agates. And the other ones I have some really, really dark, like rich royal blues, but that's the only one that turns purple when you take it outside. Oh, it's so pretty. I love that agate so much.
Cool.
It's so funny too, because it's like, it's not big. It's only like that big, but that's easily one of my favorite Montana agates I've ever found. And then last, these are super special to me. They already were. They're even more so now. These are 2 of the fire agates that I prepped that Jim sent me. And I have more that I will probably be prepping at some point. He sent me so much stuff, man.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know he was a while back. I don't know if it was him or Dave that said something, but they were working on a box for me like a while back.
Mm-hmm.
So you cherish those. You cherish those forever.
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely.
The man behind the curtain's gonna.
Well, yeah, and he sent me a bunch of the fire. I mean, he knows I'm a fire agate junkie, so he sent me some just absolutely insane fire agates, unprepped. He also sent me some that he had prepped, and those are extra special now.
Oh, totally.
But he also sent me some of the Hauser bed thunder eggs.
Yeah.
Bunch of slabs. Like, man, he sent so much awesome stuff. But these are the 2 fire agates that he sent me that I have prepped so far.
Those are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I actually need to go back and polish one of them a little better. I didn't do too good of a job on it, which is saying something that it's showing that much color with how bad of a polish I did.
Right? Yeah, they're both like just totally on fire is what they are.
So I actually prepped those and cut some of the Hauser thunder eggs in a video, and that will be coming out very soon.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that preciousness, because it is, God, those fire agates are always such a treat to see.
Oh, absolutely.
It gets old. Well, thank you for that. Is that all? Is that all you got there?
I mean, I could look around.
Bag of agates.
Anything behind you?
Except for
Bag
penguins.
of agates.
The
This is
penguins
pretty
in that,
special.
Oh, that one's always good.
It's always special.
Picture behind you. Are they holding
The
on?
penguins, the penguins in suits.
In Wyoming.
Business Wyoming penguins.
Love that.
This one's actually now that I think about it, I have this one right here too. This is actually a pretty special
Ooh.
agate.
That's beautiful.
And this
That
was
is.
special because I found it on my first collab with Katie did.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
cool.
Way back when like we were just little babies on YouTube. We're brand new on YouTube. That was so
Big
long
baby
ago.
score.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
it's such a nice agate.
That is. Well, thank you for sharing that plethora of gorgeousness and
Of
precious.
course.
Yes.
There's actually more rocks at the shop, but I didn't know where to begin to look, and I didn't know where I have them stashed at the moment.
Well, we
There's
can do
some other
another
ones.
one. I mean,
We will have to, I think, because I've got more. I just don't know where they are.
Well, it's-
Exactly. I was trying to figure out which ones I should do. I was like, but how come I don't know where they are right now?
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was at. Like,
yeah, in very important places, stashed
Yes.
all over the
Safe.
place.
in a very,
Safe.
very safe corner of the universe,
Right. So safe that even I can't mess it up. Yeah.
which is how you know they're safe.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea where they are.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of like the ugly rocks. I'm sure y'all out there are going like, I couldn't choose a couple or three, of
It's
my
so
most
hard.
sacred rocks. Like, yeah, they're all so. I'm looking among them, and they all are like, stuffed animals, like peering back at you, like I'm the most special. I'm the most special. Choose me. So yeah, it was definitely hard to parse down, but I honed mine in, and it's not because they're like necessarily precious gems in and of themselves, like value wise. It's way more about their sentimentality, and I guess it's what mood we're all in right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so this one is
Ooh.
a boulder opal that my
Beautiful.
Thank you. My mom actually got this at the Tucson Gem Show, and I was with her when she got it. She was buying for herself, and then some other customers that had given her like a massive chunk of change to go get some custom opals that she was going to set into gold for custom jewelry, and just so we had like this crazy wallet that wasn't ours that we got to spend.
That's like the
Money.
stuff of dreams
That's
right
cool.
there.
Right? Yeah, professional
Opal shopping
is-
spree.
yeah, that's something amazing. And so I remember her getting this, and it's fairly big among opal standards. And so I remember pretty much like just fawning over it. There was that quintessential, everybody who's been to Tucson Gem Show knows the like pour out all your stuff onto your hotel bed and roll around in it. Like just smear around all of the rocks, and it's that excitement of. So yeah, I remember fawning over this one, and I think so this is decades ago, and she brought it with her on one of the last trips that she came up, and she was just like, oh yeah, you might just want this. And so it's cool because it's sentimental because of really great times at the gem shows, and then it's from my mom, and then it's just it kind of steeped in stuff, and then of course we love our boulder opals. That's it, right? So it's already very, very precious. The second one I don't have right here because it's kind of more massive. I brought it over for our Man Lambo special, and it was, I think, behind me, but like it's just a really super big conglomerate of bones that Kyle can be playing the film for. And again, like one of my favorite things, like fossil bones, mystery mammal bones from the ocean here. But it was that my dad, we all found this down on the beach, my dad, my brother, and we were all together rock hounding on my favorite beach, and we found this, and we were like oohing and awing, and then we were getting ready to leave, and my dad was like, yeah, we're not leaving that. We're like, we're not. He's like, no, we're packing that out, you and your brother. Actually, he designated my brother, and I helped schlep it out because it was like I mean, it's sizable enough that you start feeling for Mam Lambo. You know, you're going like, dude's got to be fit for what he is hauling off of that. You know, you guys know about walking in sand. Like that's double the workout right there.
It is, yeah.
Yep.
You know, plus
It's
like,
rough.
yeah, 50 pounds of rock or something. You're just, that's a good workout. So that was like not only a great memory, and then also it holds the promise, like I get to find out what's in there at some point too. So it's one of those ongoing mystery things that holds a lot of interest. Like I can't walk by it and not speculate like, oh, what's in there? And so one day we shall find out when Karen gets an air scribe. And so then the last one is actually on Steve and my honeymoon. We actually went to Richardson's Rock Ranch. Am I embarrassed to acknowledge this fact? No. That's how much Steve loves me. Happened to be in the area and we got to go. So we got that day we didn't have a chance to actually go digging, but you can go there, and like they have now, they've got these like big piles of all their thunder eggs and that sort of thing. You can choose and then they'll cut it for you. And the son, I can't remember his name right now, and it's like bothering me, of course, but you can leave it in the comments, you guys that remember. He cut this one open for me, and but yeah. What?
Was it Casey?
Yeah. Thank you. And so
I was like, where'd that voice come from? Forgot it was there.
The other half of my brain. Thank you,
You know
Kyle.
attention.
But yeah, so just again, super cool memories. The inside of this rock is actually it's pink in orangish common opal, and so that was like a real surprise. I thought that we were going to get, you know, the quintessential ones that you see from Richardson's that have like the blue and the scenes, you know, and then this one, you know, peach and pink opal. Like I was pretty excited about that. So I you know, guaranteed Steve that we'd be making more trips there at that time. And we did. So those are my preciousies. But like we said, we probably will have to do a follow-up show at some point on and more preciousness, because yeah, I'm gonna walk through my studio and go, oh, I can't believe I didn't do this one and that one.
Yep, it's where I'm at right now. I know I'm gonna find like something crazy at the shop tomorrow. It's like, why didn't I show this?
Next time. And so if you want to share your gorgeousness, precious, and the cool stories that go with them with us, we would love it. Go ahead and send it to the email in the description, and we shall include that in our next viewer show and tell, which should be coming up pretty soon. And with that, have we covered everybody's preciousnesses? So let's go on to the words of wisdom. And would you like to start us off, Kurt?
Sure. I wasn't sure what to do, but last week my words of wisdom were, if you have an ugly rock, crush it, like smash it, cut it. And the test was like, for this week you can do, make sure it's not toxic. So before you cut something, before you break something, before you smash something, make sure it's not toxic. Make sure you have your mask and your glasses and cover all your safety.
Ask Jared if it's radioactive.
And don't lick it.
Don't go licking your Cinnabar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone told
Or
me
uranium.
Someone told me recently on my most recent video not to lick agates or not to lick rocks. I was like, if you listen very closely, you will hear me spit on the rock. Don't lick rocks. And wear your safety gear.
Yes. Yeah. And bring a flashlight.
Bring a flashlight.
No matter
And
what.
if you live in bear country, bear mace and maybe firearms.
And a long pointy stick.
Yeah. I just use my geopin.
Bring a spear.
Geopix
Never
are
leave
nice.
home without your atlatl.
Yeah. had a lot of really powerful. So
They're really cool.
yes, they are.
All right. I feel more secure just even talking about that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Thank you for that. All right, Irving, what do you got?
What?
Just keep on moving. That's the only thing getting me through this week. Just keep
The
on
only thing that
moving.
keeps me moving is saying
It's
keep on
the
moving.
mantra. Just keep going. It's it's gonna be okay after this week. Everything is just gonna calm down a little bit. Just one foot in front of the other. We're gonna get through this day. And we got another day to deal with.
Right. Week, month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Month, year, decade. We're gonna get through it though. I think.
Good words.
I don't
Good
know
words.
if you can tell that my brain is checked out tonight.
Yeah.
To that point of tired where I'm like, man, is it purple in your shop right now, Karen? Is that red? I can't tell. Couldn't tell you.
Yellow.
It's whatever color you want it to be.
It looks fairly
Irving.
green to me.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up real quick so that Irving can get some sleep. Thank you, Kurt and Irving, for that. My words of wisdom would, I was thinking about something that Nira had shared about Jared. And it was when she had told him that she was saddened by the news of his illness when he first found out. And he said that he had lived a good life and, to not be sad. And, yeah, right. And how do we get there? But by slowing down and taking a moment, even if things are really blurry, like Irving's day. But yeah, I was just sitting there looking at the LSAs this morning on the balcony having my coffee, and I was thankful to be able to contemplate, like slow down and just contemplate how flippin' rad everything is, like these rocks and the sun's out, or if it's not, it's it's raining and it's beautiful. I mean, I don't know, just taking the time out to be gracious about that, full gratitude that I get to sit there and do just that at that moment. So those are mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And with that, we thank you for hanging out till the end of the podcast. So make sure to leave us with a comment about where you're viewing from and what you're up to. Send us your beauties on the email. Sign up for the Discord. We love to chat all week long, and the shows and tells and all the randomness that happens over there is a lot of fun. And with that, I think that we'd like to wish you a wonderful weekend, to get out there and hound if it's not too cold and stay warm if it is. And we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Bye.